most of your career goals were with the Edmonton Oilers, or at least that's where you were number one on. What did you like, though, away from the rink about being in Edmonton? I always love asking players this question because, I mean, obviously we're Edmontonians. I think Edmonton gets an unfair rap sometimes as a place that, you know, guys don't want to play. But what was maybe a surprising part about being in Edmonton and playing in the city, and what's maybe something that you really liked about the city?
Yeah, I think to go along with that, I think maybe like to be quite honest, I think maybe going into it, my first year, I didn't think too much of it. Obviously, it's maybe when you go to like I don't know, like Dallas, Texas, or Washington D.C., maybe those are cities that uh, you know you think you're going to enjoy more than going to Edmonton. And I'm not saying this because I'm just on the show. Uh, I've really, 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 my wife and I really appreciated our time in Edmonton. I thought it's a special community. We live just outside the city. Um, it's special to be an Oiler for sure, and all the history and all that. I thought like driving to there's no other feeling than driving to a game on the Saturday night hockey in Canada. You know, you can't find that anywhere else. I remember that for me that was definitely a special one. But no, I think Edmonton was a place where you know, we've got to know people. I got to know some people like, you know, like I used to go to like Acme Meat Market, like a butchery shop. And I was there like every week. I think the first name of the owner or GM there was Corey. That's a great man. Like I just really enjoyed that part. I thought it was like a close community and we just enjoyed it. Like we had a dog. We got a dog at, I think COVID summer out of Buck Lake, Alberta, a black lab, and yeah, it's just special memories. I think it's kind of like things really like more special. Obviously, hockey was going well for me, and but I also think I really enjoyed like living there and all the other things that came with it. It was better than I first originally thought for sure.
All right, I got a couple more for you. We're going to call this next part Advice with Alex. So I want to start, you hear me out on this one, but we're getting to the point where it's trade deadline time and there's going to be new faces coming into the lineup. And one thing that we talk about, it's been a big conversation this year, even with a guy like Jeff Skinner, is players who just can't seem to get used to playing with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. What would be your best piece of advice for a player coming to the Oilers who's going to be playing with one of those two big guns? Best advice for playing with 97 and 29.
Go to the net. That usually helps. I don't know. I think they're just like special players. They just see the things differently. I learned so much from those two guys, but at least for me, and then that was my game. I think that's just also like part of my game was I always found like the soft area around the net, find the space that was open. But yeah, I mean, at times it can be like difficult for sure. Like they're just on a different level than anyone else, and it can be challenging. But I think simplifying your game, at least for me, was always a key part, and it seemed like I always got rewarded for it.
Advice for a player coming into camp on a PTO, earning jobs off a PTO. You did that so well so many times in your career. What would be your best piece of advice to a player going into camp trying to earn a contract?
I think just believe in yourself. I felt like for me that was my biggest asset, was just I believe in my ability. I believe in how I can help a team. And the rest always kind of took care of itself.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.